a myriad of things. So I think first of all we have to go back to
writer. You are very well known for your teaching skills. Your students speak a whole lot about you.
Miss Nigeria competition.
And I said, let's pick them up, let's take them back to Nigeria, and let's teach them a different kind of job.
The world needs strong women, women who will lift and build others, who will love and be loved, women who live bravely, both tender and fierce, women of indomitable will. In the words of Annie Telly, I welcome you to today's edition of The Woman. Now, beyond the words of Annie, I would like to bring it home a little bit and say it in the words of our elder, that is Afe Babalola, S.A.N. He simply says that there are women of substance, but there are women of substantial substance. This aptly describes my guest for today. Who is she? Join us in minutes when I will be introducing her. Don't go away. The show is The Woman, and today is an exceptional one because I have a first of first presidents. I have a woman who has begun the journey with the man and decided that she can do it better than the man. A woman who is treading the path of the men and decided to give it a feminine touch, and she's doing it so beautifully well. For the first time, the Nigerian Society of Engineers are lucky and blessed to have a woman at the helm of affairs. She is sitting here with me, and she is someone I simply call President, but her name is Engineer Margaret Oguntala. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you.
I was describing you, you're looking like Zami. That's
Yeah,
you!
I was really.
You better get used to it, Madam President.
Thank you.
The journey must have been really tough for you. How did you circumvent? How did the men push you around? Did they ruffle you? How did it go?
Oh well, they are part of the story.
Okay.
So I joined the Nigerian Society of Engineers in 1996, and I joined through the Nigerian Society of Engineers Ikeja branch. Even though I've been a member of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, so within 3 months that I joined, I started by I was recognized and made chairman of an organizing committee, planning committee for the 1996 dinner and awards night. So that was where I was launched into the NSE, and then I vied for the position of treasurer. I was treasurer for 2 years, and then ex-officio member, and then later vice chairman, and then
3
chairman.
times.
No, that was even in the Ikeda branch.
Okay.
So I was the first female chairman too of Ikeda branch. We have NSE has right now. We have 86 branches. 81 in Nigeria, 3 in the UK, 1 in Glasgow, 1 in Manchester, 1 in London. We have 1 in Houston, 1 in Saudi Arabia.
You see, your own presidency is more than our own regular president. You're president worldwide.
Oh yeah, you can say that. You can say that. So I became the first female chairman of Ikeda branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers in 2009. So I did that for 2 years, and then I moved on to the national. So my performance as chairman kind of launched me easily into the national politics. I contested in 2017 for the position of deputy president. The deputy president automatically takes over from the president at the expiration of his tenure of 2 years. So I lost that election. Went back, re-strategized, and then came with a bigger bang in 2021. And we were 5 contestants, 2 men to 3 women. That was the first time we had 3 women contesting. So it was also history, that we had so many women qualified for that position. So, and to the glory of God, I won that election, and the rest, as they say, is history. So it's not.
I was telling you that each time I call you that, I know it's your title, but somehow I feel like I'm wearing a borrowed shoe. and I wear it with pride because it's not easy for women to actually get there. And let me get back to by your days in the secondary school. It looks like you have always been on the front line as leadership. You were a head girl too, right?
No, I wasn't head girl. I was social prefect.
Okay.
Yes, and yes, in secondary school. Okay, so I was also, I think I learned to be in the public space right from secondary school because I represented my school in debates, in quiz, science days, quiz competitions, debates, and even drama. So
I'm going to get you there.
So, and then in Form 5, in my final year, I was made social prefect. So, like one of my friends says, it's from prefect to president.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's all peace.
I give God the glory.
Mm-hmm. It's all peace. And then when you were also the vice president, 3 times actually, something resonated with me. What's your ability to drag in some song and get things done for your society? You want to share that experience with us?
Yes, thank you. You see, one of the things that we're expected to do in NSE is to collaborate with organizations for the benefit of members, particularly the welfare of members and professional development of members. Samsung was one of the organizations that I was able to attract into NSE to give members discounts. On the show of our ID card, we got 10% discount on Samsung products apart from consumables.
Is it still running?
No, not now.
I wanted to join your society of engineers by association.
Oh, by association, I like that. I like that. So we were able to do that. They also trained some of our young engineers in refrigeration, and all of that. So it was a very good time for the NSE. And of course, in return, we also got a mention on our website as our partners, and we also participated in the programs, endorsement programs, and stuff. So it was good.
It's a good one. Now, beyond that, you did mention that there were 3 women that contested in 2021, and it brings me to the fact that women in the society of engineering, they're actually thriving. There are a whole lot of women who are going into that as of today. But before I get to ask you what the parts, working on the part, is like this day, I'd like to know, you read chemical engineering.
Yes.
So how did you decide to do that? Because it's quite an unusual course, and from your effervescence, for me, you cut out more like an art student. So here you are reading a very hardcore. How did you, go that?
Well, actually, if you ask me, I would say that in the beginning, maybe in my 2nd, 3rd year in the university, I wasn't thinking of engineering. So my father wanted me to become a medical doctor. I wanted to become an ambassador. Yeah, or an actor.
That's the one I wanted to hear. The ambassador part wasn't quite it, because I know you have a thing with media and your acting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do either of the two. My father would not hear anything of it. He wanted me to become a doctor. So, and then I was in the science class. So it was kind of given that I would be in science, study a science course. So somehow I just didn't do well in biology. I didn't like ecology, So, and I also had a few coincidences that made me not attend some of the ecology classes. So I had a P7 in biology. And my father said he wanted me to retake because of the biology, because he wanted me to become a doctor. But my principal would not hear of it. He said, Margaret, okay, my middle name is Ayeni. And said, Margaret Ayeni cannot come and retake in this school. I was one of the best. So, once you remove the biology. So she said she would not have it. It will not happen. So my father said, so what do you do now? I said, well, then I was wondering, I said, can I go and study law or international relations or something?
What you wanted to do.
Exactly. And he still said no. So, but I have this uncle of mine, my maternal uncle, who had friends in the oil and gas. And then he told me, I went to my favorite uncle. So I went to meet him and I said, "Look, I just needed some counseling." So he said, "Okay, why don't you study chemical engineering? That's the future." So I said, "Really? Okay." So I took the JAM form, and then because I thought, well, it was fine. I knew that I could do it. So I got admitted for chemical engineering, and I enjoyed it. So, and then I found out really that it's a lot more interesting than what I wanted. I also found out that even being an engineer does not stop me from any other thing that I want to be. So it's just preparing for life, but I can also do any other thing that I wish to do in my life. True. So it's been a rewarding time for me.
True. So being an engineer does not really limit you. But being an engineer as a woman is one field that once you call engineering, a lot of us see men in work clothes and all of that, but there are women in there too. Yeah. So how is the battle for the few women who are there? What's the struggle like?
Well, the first thing that happens, like you said, when you hear engineering, you think of a man.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk into a place, into an office, and you present yourself as an engineer, the first thing that comes to the mind of everyone there is she really an engineer? Can she cope? And then the struggle now comes from you having to prove yourself, and it starts from even the school, But incidentally for me, I've had a lot of encouragement from men. The boys in my class, for instance, in the University of Benin they were quite good. I give them kudos. They never discriminated against us. If anything, they encouraged us. So later in life, I found out that all I needed to do was just be focused on my career and prove to people that, look, engineering is for girls too. And then during my industrial attachment, because I had a total of 12 months, I had to work with men. So my first experience was on the rig. And so going to the rig, I went onshore and offshore. Mm-hmm. So the first one I was on an onshore rig, and when I got there, I had to wear the work clothes with men, but it's the same overall for whether it's a man. it's unisex. Mm-hmm. So once you wear the overall, it doesn't really matter whether you are a man or a woman. And the men were also not. They really did not discriminate, but you just had to also learn to deal with them. Because sometimes some of them would kind of pretend that you were not there.
Yeah, I guess.
So they just pretend that you're not there, but then once they also realize that you have what it takes, intellectually you're okay, and then you know the job, and you are able to ready to apply yourself to the job, then they respect you.
Is it beyond the gender balancing and all of that? Is it that easy for a woman? I feel it's rigorous. I could be wrong.
It's easy.
I have a bit of engineering in me. I'm a domestic engineer.
But I hear you talk about cables, and editing, and how you're going to do this and I'm like,
right now.
So you do have more than domestic engineering in you. So it's not so difficult. Engineering is more of an intellectual thing than physical. Of course, there's a lot of physical to it, but that's not it. The real thing in engineering is intellectual. Okay, so and then the physical aspects, when you have to go to sites and stuff, like I've had to climb scaffolding, in the refinery, to climb columns and all of that. So that could be difficult for a woman who is not prepared. But for somebody who wants to become an engineer, it's nothing. And then when you wear the work clothes, really, then it becomes easy for you. I wouldn't go to sites dressed the way I am now. If I had to go to site, I knew I would dress properly, for the job that I have to do. So it's not so difficult.
I want to believe at this stage you're not just doing the job, you're doing more of mentoring. Can we share a bit of that? There's a point to get to. You're thinking about the younger ones and their footprints as you go.
Yes. I love to talk about the younger ones because they are the future. And like I always say when I'm with them, the future is now. When I was campaigning, one of the things that I did was to concentrate on the young engineers by organizing training for them. Because I do believe that every engineer has to continually train himself, training, retraining, reskilling, upskilling, because you have to keep abreast of the emerging trends and technology. And to do that, you have to be given the opportunity, and space for training. So I organized a lot of training for young engineers in different aspects, software and all of that. And I told them that I would be doing a lot more if I was voted in. And they did, they gave me a lot of support. So I'm so glad that the first strategic partner that we've been able to attract now is the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. And with their support, with the partnership, we plan to train at least 6,000 young engineers in various fields. We launched the training last week during the World Engineering Day with cyber security and ethical hacking. So we're going to be training them on even entrepreneurial skills, and all of that, solar PV, renewable energy, waste management, and all of that, so that we prepare them to be entrepreneurs, to be better in whatever they do.
I know your tenure is pretty young, but it's never too young for you to, lift your hands and do something quite great. You're already starting beautifully well. What more do we expect?
So now we are also seeking partners like Samsung, where we can offer services in the area of welfare. Because as far as professional development is concerned, we have it on track. So we are looking for partners now to also deliver on the welfare side of our vision and the objectives of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I had a meeting with some members of staff of Lafarge last week. We have also visited them, and we are hoping to also partner with them in some other areas. We were with the president, the first female actually of Transcorp Corporation. Yes, earlier this year. And what I sold to her was this Jets Club. So I'd like to bring it back.
James Club, yes.
Yes, it's something that I'm really working.
It actually helped my daughter a whole lot. Back then.
Yes, it would help a lot of young people. Yes, a lot of young people. I'm looking at how we can bring that back to life.
That's good.
And have NSE get through our partners, sponsor it, have that TV show again. I used to look forward to the Jets Club, and all of that. So many other things that we are.
I hope my engineers in NTA will also benefit from this.
They would.
Okay.
They would, definitely. We have quite a number,
Okay.
and they are doing well.
Alright, that's a good one. I'm pleased to hear that. Now, beyond you being an engineer, one of the things you've done so well is your ability to manage your public space and your private space. I'm wondering, what's this mildest touch you have? Everything you touch, you seem to do it so beautifully well, even the home front.
Thank you. The home is very important, and incidentally, men also look out for women who have solid backgrounds for positions such as this. During my campaign in particular, I met a lot of men who said, look, I'm going to vote for you because I know that you also have your home together. So that's the Nigerian or cultural factor at play. So for that, to be able to do that, I've just been, I think it's a lot of focus, prioritizing, and then realizing really what is most important to you at every point in time. I have 3 children, and when they were young, I spent a lot more time with them than with my career or NSE for that matter. So I had a job. I started with a job that allowed me time. A job that was flexible. I was sales manager. and I could work. Even at that time, there was nothing like working from home. But I didn't need to leave home at 6 a.m. like my mates in Lagos. I could leave home. I could birth my baby, feed my baby. At that time, I had only one baby, and I could do all of that before leaving home. So I from that job, I took another that was just like that, just marketing manager later of industrial chemicals. So all I had to do was deal with clients, the industries around Lagos, to get to market the products, also to also offer services such as feasibility studies for startups and stuff. And so by the time I had the second, and then they started school, I was very involved in the school activities. As a matter of fact, in the school of my last born, I was PTA chairman. For years, I was PTA chairman. So I
see that leadership thing. Even in the child's school, you went there to go and collect position.
Yeah, I think it just comes. I think sometimes these things just come to you naturally, and you just find yourself doing them. So I spent a lot of time with them. And for my husband, he worked with NNPC. So a lot of times he was also away from home. So I had to be there. So I had to hold fort at home while he was away, while he was abroad and stuff. And I learned to do a lot of things by myself. So and then because the fact that I'm an engineer also helped at that time, because I could do so many things that many other women would not be able to do. No excuses.
I appreciated all of that.
Oh yes, it does. And so it's giving me support now.
All right. Okay, he's giving you full support.
Oh, full support.
I want you to thank him. Look into the camera and thank him.
Oh, thank you, Manti. That's what I call
it. Okay, Manti.
Yes, thank you.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Now, I won't leave you because there's a whole lot of life. Anybody looking at you will see that you have this very positive, lively effervescence around you, and you spill it to other people. I enjoy it, but I know that with that comes with full relaxation. And I know somebody told me you like traveling, you like acting. Yes. Have you tried acting?
Yes, I have.
Okay, which movie?
Not movie. Soap.
A soap opera?
Yeah, Wale Adenuga.
Wow, I can't wait. So I have to watch it.
Well, it's old now. Between 2003 and 2007. I got to meet Wale Adenuga in 2002, and so I told the person who introduced, through whom I met him, that I'd like to meet him, and he organized the meeting. So I walked up to him and I told him that I wanted to act. So he told me that there's no money in TV series or soap as they call it. I told him I wasn't looking for the money.
I just wanted to
act. It was one of the dreams I had. One of those things that I wanted actualized in my life. So he gave me the opportunity. I went for audition and I passed the audition. He gave me parts, and for 3 years, 2003 to 2007, 4 years.
What was the name of the movie?
Many of them. Super Story, This Life, Odd World.
Okay.
All of them.
Alright, no problem. So I got
Peter and Company, all the Wale Adenuga series.
Thank you so much for coming on. But I won't tell my leave until I've had 1 or 2 words of advice to women. Now I need you to look into the camera because there are a lot of women who are looking up to you at this moment and probably enjoying what you're doing. But there are also women who are, downtrodden, losing hope. At this moment, they need you to cheer them up. Can you look into the camera and talk to them?
Well, yes. First, let me say Happy International Women's Day because it's still on. This is our month, as I always say. It's the life is not easy, and believe me, it's not only for women. But as women, we just need to remain focused. And fortunately for us, we are blessed by God because we can multitask. We are multi-talented. The average woman is all of that. So all you need to do is discover yourself, know who you are, what works best for you, and keep focused on your goal. So set a clear goal for yourself right from the beginning. and go for it. Keep your eyes on the ball, do not be distracted, and when you fall, pick yourself up. It's not the end of the world. Never be ashamed to be a woman.
Definitely.
Cry if you must, shed the tears if you must, but remain focused and strong.
Even in my next world, I keep saying I'll still come back as a woman. Thank you for coming.
Me too.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I know that more is in the offering for not just women, but men as well, because there is no woman without a man. That's why we are women. So we've been talking with the president. Yes, the word is president. Proudly so. President, the very first female president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, in the person of Engineer Margaret Oguntala. Wonderful. I don't need to add anything. Just see us again next week, and I can assure you it will be another bumper harvest in the female industry. Bye.